It's definitely slim, but is it a good Android phone? Let's check this one out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the LG V35 ThinQ Slim. And of course, with the word slim in it, you're expecting it to be slim, and it is. It's a remarkably beautiful piece of engineering. And not only that, but you can see that the screen is almost edge to edge, and there's no notch for people that don't like the notch on the top like the iPhone 10. LG has not said, let's duplicate that notch because, hey, Apple does it. So it's interesting. It's actually the same design as the V30, and it's the same camera as the LG G7. But we'll get back to the camera. Let me start with some basic specs. So this is powered off of a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 with 6 gig of memory, 64 gig of storage, and micro SD support. Works on Bluetooth 5.0, which you'd expect on a modern phone. Has USB-C charging. It also has, ta-da, it has Qi charging, so it works wirelessly too, which I really like wireless charging. That's cool. On the top, it's sporting a headphone jack, which is a nice thing if you've been living with Bluetooth only for such a long time. It's running Android 8.0 Oreo, but I'm certainly expecting the next generation will show up as soon as LG can get it on their phones. And dimensions are 6 inches by 3 inches by 0.29 inches, so just a smidge more than a 1/4 inch thick, and it's 5.6 ounces. And here's one thing that's nice, it's Ip68 Water-Resistant. I'm not going to test it because I'm not going to test it, but IP68 means that if it gets into a dusty environment, if you drop it or you spill some coffee on it or something, you don't have to freak out or panic. It's going to be fine. Now, battery life wise, it actually has a 3300 milliamp hour battery, which is going to give you about 9 to 10 hours of typical use. Might be nice someday for LG to have a 12-hour phone, but on the other hand, quite honestly, especially with Qi charging, it's pretty easy to have one of these by your desk, have one of these at home, and even if you just get a few minutes of charge on that, that's still going to help you make it to that 12-hour mark or worse, or better. Now, the screen itself, as you can see, is really quite gorgeous. So I'll show you some pictures up close from the camera, but just to start out, you can see here that this is a 6-inch full vision OLED screen running at 2880 by 1440 at 538 pixels per inch, or PPI. It also supports HDR10, which is the next generation of like really full HD, which gives you more blacks and a lot more of a color palette. I don't have any HDR10 content to test it with, but I trust them when they say that. Also has DTS-X surround sound. Now, it's all well and good to say all that stuff, but if you're listening to the speakers on the phone, there's no magic they can do to make this sound full and lush. I will say, however, via headphones or earbuds, this definitely sounds beautiful. This is really nice. I was listening to Spotify for many hours yesterday and just really enjoying it. Another interesting thing is it also has what LG calls super far field voice recognition. And this is particularly for things like OK Google. And what it means is that you should be able to talk to your phone from up to 10 feet away or further and have it be able to hear you and process. So at that point, it becomes almost like having a Google Home device or something. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's talk about the camera, because that's really one of the big differentiators now in modern smartphones. This features a dual sensor camera, and on the back you can see both of them there. One of them is a 16 megapixel at f1.6, and that gets you a resolution, it's crazy, up to 4656 by 3492. Why are people still shooting with cameras when these little tiny devices can do so amazingly? And then the other camera here is the 16 megapixel wide angle camera, and that's at f1.9. Again, both of them really nice and fast. You can shoot 4K video at 30 frames a second, and LG has much to do with what they call AI Cam, which is an object recognition AI system, which is supposed to tweak your photos to make them look as good as possible for beaches and sunsets and portraits and snow and all these sort of different things. Now, the front camera, which I think is right there, the front camera is an 8 megapixel at f1.9, and that's a big step up from previous LG front-facing cameras, so that's nice too. But mostly with these, you're going to be using your rear-facing camera, and I have to say, I wasn't hugely impressed with AI Cam. Let's have a look at a couple of these photos. The thing that I found is that everything seems to be oversaturated, which is a pretty easy thing for LG to get right. You know, I think that these should be able to nail the colors a little bit better. But the resolution's gorgeous, and they're still really nice photos, so that's something to know. Now, a couple more things. It has a fingerprint sensor, and it is nice smack dab in the middle of the back. That also doubles as the power button. So if you're on the side and you're pushing, trying to figure out how to turn it on, you just got to actually pick it up and push it. Now, interestingly, because it also has Qi charging, that means that when it's sitting on the charging stand or on a charging flat unit, then you can't actually power on the phone. So that design is sort of not 100% great to not have an additional power button on the side, but it's something that you will definitely get used to pretty quickly. The thing I most like about this, though, is I just like the form factor. You know, we have so many phones that are big and thick and clunky, and this, as I said, it's remarkably slim. It's a bright, vivid screen. It's super fast, you know, and takes reasonably decent photos, and it's just has a nice hand feel to it. It's really the perfect size for at least my hand for me to be able to maneuver all with one hand. There's a lot I really like about it. One of the other things I like about it is this is one of the few really cool phones to support Project Phi, which is actually Google's, you know, in cellular service over Wi-Fi and everything. So if you are interested in Project Phi, and I have a couple of friends that are using it, this is a really nice option for you. Now, I got mine from AT&T, so it also obviously is an AT&T phone, as are really the entire range of all the phones from LG. And this particular one, well, let's hold off and let's not get to the price quite yet, because I want to tell you a couple more things. One of which is that the Qi charger is not included. But not only that, the other thing that really surprised me is there are no headphones or earbuds or anything included. It has a charging cable and it has a charging wall plug, and that's all you get. Now, I think it's one of the very few phones I've seen in a while that doesn't include earbuds. To be fair, most of the earbuds are not that great, but on the other hand, you look at like some of the more modern stuff coming out from Sony, and with your $900 smartphone, you're getting $200 earbuds with it. So, you know, Apple, same thing. You buy a $1,000 iPhone and you're getting like $100 pair of earbuds with it. So I'm not sure what motivated LG to skip having earbuds of any sort in the box. And I'm also going to guess that no one's going to make the no purchase or purchase decision based on that, because you probably already have good stuff anyway. But it was an interesting choice on their part. Now, before I get to the price, let me ask if you can click on that subscribe button. Really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. It's really great. And comments, feedback, anything you want to share with me, leave them in the comment section. I respond to every single comment. Even if you want to be snarky, I will be snarky right back to you. So, cool. LG V35 ThinQ Slim, their modern flagship smartphone. It's really a sweet phone. It will run you $900 at AT&T.com, which you can of course break down into 30 payments, so it's nice and painless. But here's something else to think about, is that this is only $15 cheaper than buying the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So I'm not sure LG priced this at exactly the right point at $900, but honestly, if you're in the market for a high-end, beautiful, well-designed Android phone, this could be one that should be on your short list. This is Dave Taylor. I think I'm going to get back to working on my photos, which means I'll catch you in my next video.